Hello everyone and welcome to the EpiSeedLink podcast series. I'm Stefania and today me and my colleague Clarice are going to discuss about why we applied to a Marie Curie Fellowship. So, hi Clarice.
Hi Stefania.
Shall we start presenting ourselves and our backgrounds? What do you think?
Seems good to me. My name is Clarice Zig, I am Portuguese, and I am currently doing a PhD in plant photobiology and epigenome dynamics. I am working in Paris under the supervision of Freddy Barnesch. So now regarding my background, I did a bachelor and a master in Lisbon, and in between these two I also did an Erasmus Plus program in which I had the opportunity to do an internship in a lab in Denmark for 6 months. And what about you, Stefania?
It sounds really interesting. Well, by my side, I did both my bachelor and my master at the University of Verona in Italy in plant and food biotechnology, and I did my internship in photosynthesis. And then I worked for around 5 years in a company studying plant cell cultures to produce active molecules of nutraceutical and pharmacological interest. And now I'm doing my PhD also in the EpiSeedLink program as you, and also in France, but at another institute in Clermont-Ferrand, and under the supervision of Aline Probst. And my project is about histone variants during germination.
I was thinking that it's funny that we have such different backgrounds and still ended up doing similar PhDs. This is actually one of the things I find so appealing in these networks. It's that all of the candidates come from different backgrounds and we still ended up in the same boat. And I guess this brings me to my next question, which is why did you decide to pursue a PhD? If you already had a career in the industry, what made you decide to come back to academia?
Midlife crisis. No, I'm joking. Actually, I've always liked doing research, and I often had the idea to continue in the academia and maybe one day going for a teaching position. And I've always been very curious, and I really like to learn new things and also love to share my passion and help other people in the process of learning. But I have to say I choose this particular kind of PhD also for the opportunity to travel a lot. Because unlike you, I didn't do any experience abroad. Yes. And so I like the idea of meeting different cultures, build connections with other researchers and things like this. And what led you to the choice of a Marie Curie Fellowship?
I think what really caught my attention was the fact that we get the opportunity to be inserted in an academic environment while still getting to experience the daily life in the private sector. And as my background was completely in academia, I was very curious to know what happened in companies and how the industry really works. All right, so I think now we can move on to advantages and disadvantages. Maybe you can share your opinion on it.
Yeah, sure. Well, on the advantages, for sure, the fact that we are a consortium of people, we're quite far away but always in contact with each other. We do secondments in different institutes, and I think these are really, really good added values to the PhD experience. And at the same time, it can be stressful to move abroad on your own and to keep traveling. But yeah, sometimes it makes me feel like I'm losing a bit of my roots. But still, I think there are a lot of good values in these, good opportunities in learning from other people in other institutes.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on the advantages, and maybe I can add a few more. So for me, one of the biggest aspects is the fact that we are reassured from the start that we'll have the funds to do our research, even if we plan expensive experiments. And this really takes a lot of pressure off our shoulders, I would say. I also feel like the fact that we have contact with the industry and academia is very good for our CVs, so maybe it will be very helpful in our futures to have this experience. On the disadvantages side, I can add that the curricular part of the program is a bit heavy. So I often feel like too much of my time is going towards non-research related activities, and I feel a lot of pressure because I really should be focusing on my research, which is the main goal of our PhDs.
Yes, I really agree. And if you could give some advice to someone who's looking for PhD opportunities, so what would you tell to the first year PhD version of yourself?
My advice for any PhD student really, no matter what year they are in, would be to pay close attention to their mental health. The competition and the pressure in academia, especially during a PhD, can be really hard to stand, and so it's extremely important to take care of ourselves so we can be productive and to conduct our work in the best possible way. Okay, so now I would like to hear you talking about whether you would recommend an MSCA program and what are the reasons for it.
Okay, yes, sure, I would. I mean, it can be amazing, but also really challenging. So it's better to be conscious of the requirements. But I would definitely recommend it. And in our program, we also had many courses and activities to carry on, which are all building up our career. And I think it could be really good for our future. But at the same time, yeah, it takes away time from the experiments, as you said, as well as the travels. So I think it's really important to organize. But yes. And what about you?
Yes, I really agree with you. Organization is the key for a successful PhD. In my case, I would definitely recommend an MSCA program. I think these programs carry an infinity of advantages, but still, I really deeply think that it's important for anyone applying to one of these type of networks to be aware of how intensively demanding they are. But well, thank you so much, Stefania, for the chit chat. It was a pleasure to discuss with you. And for our listeners, if you liked the episode, please be sure to listen to the other ones and don't forget to follow us.
Thank you, Clarice, and thanks everybody for listening. Bye!